Hello, and welcome to Viva Ya podcast. You can say Viva Ya, you can say Viva Ya. You can say it any way, which way you want. I like that. It sounds nice and fast and quick and easy. It's got some V's in there. It's got a Y that looks kind of like a V. Then the A's are upside down V's, kind of with like the little stepladder support thing in between. So this is episode 1. Welcome to episode 1. This is intro to me, V. Just call me V. My friends call me V. I like being called V. It makes things really easy. I don't really like my shame names. We can go into shame names another day, but they're the names that people get wrong with too much frequency for my tastes. And I understand it's not entirely their fault, but they're also not listening to me when I say my name. Anyways, today I'm going to give like a quick little, I'm aiming for 15 minutes total. Quick introduction to me. Not a lot of time to really say who you are. And that's totally okay. I don't know if there is enough time to do that, because if you're constantly changing and growing, who knows who you are after that point? Anyways, today I'm going to split this up into 3 parts. Where I've been, where I am right now, and where I'm going. If the fool would pursue his folly, he would become wise. This is essentially my mode of operation. I had a really good friend of mine we've been friends for over 25 years, known him since we were children, said once about me to someone else, described me as unconventional. Yeah, I think that's an accurate way to describe me. And I've been very insistent on not doing certain things that I felt everybody was telling me I should do, or at least I should make sure I'm doing it on my terms, etc. I wasn't aspiring to be some boss bitch or something. It's just me trying to be honest with myself every step of the way, and that's been a process. I like to think that I kind of play the part of a fool, but also part storyteller. People have described me as a bard. I like that one. A gatherer of people. Maybe now's the time for me to just talk into a microphone and upload it online and kind of promote it, kind of barely, not this one at least as much, because it's just going to be more weird and more me. I don't want to stick my neck out that far just yet. I hope my excessive self-disclosure and vulnerability can be a net boon in your life. If it's just fun to listen to me speak, if it helps inspire you, provoke you, agitate you into good things, I'm going to always try to be positive, but sometimes the things I got to share don't sound positive. If you're still here, you must like what you're hearing, and we're just going to keep going. So where do I come from? Where do I come from? I mostly tell people that I'm mostly from New York. And that's kind of, a bit of a lie, but also not a lie. It's like a half-truth. I've spent most of my life there. I feel most of my, connection to who I am. I'm a lot like my dad, unfortunately. He's from Queens. There's just something about dads from Queens that I embody. All my wacky friends from Queens all have Queens dads, and they're all just a bunch of Queenies. Technically, I was born in California. Fun fact. People are like, what? But I haven't lived there in over 25 years. Should I say I'm from there? I don't know. But I did have the best parts of my childhood were very idyllic, aside from all the trauma and dysfunction. I kind of spent some time in a little small town. I'd say a lot of my formative years as an adult have been spent in New York City, mostly Queens. It just got to a point where I had to accept how overstimulating and how overwhelming New York City is. It's just too much. I go back occasionally and I think to myself, God damn, how the hell did I do this? You just spend so much time and energy avoiding things while you live there. It's not worth it to me anymore. I decided the dream was to get out, but I didn't have a lot of money. So I felt if I moved out or I moved to another part of the country, who's to say I'm not going to get stuck somewhere else with some shit job because I got to pay my rent and I got to make sure I got a place to live. I happen to be very frugal, but it means I also save money. So I like to kind of play my cards right in that, and one of my cards is my savings. So the dream was to get out of New York City. and I met my ex-partner, and within a year we made plans and executed them to leave. This is like 2015 into 2016. We had a whole bunch of plans. I don't want to focus too much on those things because we can eventually talk more about them. But what we did was try to leave New York on kind of like a travel spree. We ended up becoming full-time travelers and starting a blog. And this blog, we figured out how to make money from it. And we weren't paying rent anywhere, but that doesn't mean we weren't paying for rent in other ways. Via house sitting, we were paying for it in pet care and house care. And a lot of people think it's the dream life when it comes up, when they would meet us. It was more a way to get out of New York City and explore and figure out what are my other options in life right now. Where else can I entertain living? It would turn out to be mid-sized cities, seemed to be my jam, or at least one in particular, the one I'm living in. But I don't want to jump ahead too quick, too soon. But the blog, we did a lot of things. We accomplished a lot of things. It made us money. It continued to make us money up until a few months ago. We also did 2 podcasts. I forgot to mention that part. I really probably enjoyed that form the most because it was much more intimate and much more personal. We were living the dream of trying to become self-employed and living this life of travel. Mostly my ex that wanted to do all the traveling. I was more along for the ride because I'm a good road dog when I'm not being a pain in the ass and having all the issues I think I just contend with on a regular basis. Mental illness, neurodiversity, whatever you want to call it, it's all in my family. I probably have them all. But we were hitting goals. We were executing things we wanted to see happen. And then the pandemic hit. I had to make some moves. The moves meant ending up in Buffalo. Long story short, I can go into those another day. Fell in love with Buffalo, even in the pandemic ghost town that it was at first. And I'm basically up to now. Here I am. I love it here. I almost put out a podcast about how much I love Buffalo, but it's just going to be in everything, so I don't need to make it particularly about Buffalo, and I also don't want to lock myself into that. Long story short, with my past life and how it relates to today, is the internet's changed. Me and my ex-partner, we've changed. We've just changed. We were clearly both holding each other back. I think we're doing better as our own separate people. I was really trying to hold on to the thing that we built because it was making us money, and it could have kept making us money. But it's dead now. It's done, shut down, officially done. And this is the reality I've been facing in the last 16 months, among many, many other difficult things that have been happening in my life. The last 16 months, I've just watching it all kind of come to an end. It was like I was plugging holes in a sinking ship. It was just really hard to kind of face my reality. And as it just slowly kind of was unraveling itself in the past 16 months, I focused my energies on other things, didn't want to think about it, was just kind of always avoiding my baseline depression about it. And then it just really started to hit me hard when it really started to tank and the income dropped precipitously. I also was burning out from a job this past fall. I was flaming out hard. And then I tweaked my upper back on my way out of that first W-2 job I've had in, I want to say almost 7 or 8 years. And it practically immobilized me because I'm also dealing with persistent injuries in both my knees. And so with a tweaked back, knees fucked up, I was feeling pretty immobile. And as soon as you take away my ability to move my body, I get really depressed. One of the key things I rely on is being able to hop on my bike to make myself feel better. And when you take that away, or even just me being able to move and stretch and feel comfortable in my body, I'm miserable. I'm so miserable. And I was feeling this anxiety about what are my next moves. I invested so much time and energy into basically creating a way for me to be self-employed, earn a passive income online, and then watch it just kind of get sucked away. I have this image of a dream eater, this god, this demon creature character from this manga I'm reading, Lone Wolf and Cub. Takes place in feudal Japan. And he's like a dream eater and sucks away your dreams. I just can't help but think, man, that dude's been eating all my dreams up. I didn't even know he existed until now. So this whole lifestyle that I built, being autonomous, like making my own schedule, making my own decisions, creating things, coming up with we did everything. We ran a business together. all the anxiety, everything was just adding up. I started having trouble sleeping, I would just wake up early and couldn't go back to sleep, and my wheels would just be spinning. So I had to think of something. And it kind of occurred to me that I needed to start some creative projects that I've been thinking about for a long time, which is actually a couple podcasts, but I'm not trying to promote both of them right now, this being one of them. I just want to, at first, be kind of really low-key. And I realized that as much as it pains me to start now instead of earlier, I couldn't have done it any sooner. Something I'll get into more in later episodes. And it started to excite me again. I was getting a lot of affirmations. But then one of our friends decided to call it quits. That really rocked our community. And that sent me even further into deeper depression. Oh, and then I got groped at a holiday party. And then I got sexually aggressed at a New Year's Eve party. And then got really sick. And I kept feeling like I was getting my ass kicked anytime I left my house. So depression can be so isolating, and you don't want to bring other people down with you. And I'm also an introvert. Surprise. But all this extra adversity just kind of felt like the world, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, was telling me, get the fuck inside, focus on yourself, go inward. This is a spiritual crisis. Get your ass in gear. You're pissing off everybody. So I can't say the exact moment this started, but it did. And now, where am I going? I'm going to podcast hell, of course. I sold my soul to make this podcast, one little piece at a time. Every episode is just another shard of my shattered soul. Fortunately, I've got a lot of soul to spare. I think I've spent a lot of time building up my soul capacity, if you will, or I just happen to have plenty of soul to go around. So I'm generally optimistic about my spiritual future while I exist in this reality. I have lots of projects planned, lots of projects planned. If you want the intimate behind-the-scenes experience of what's going on in my life, this is the thing. This is the creation. This is the project that it's going to be kicking off, this whole thing. And then there's going to be other things. This is going to be very much something that I don't heavily promote. And this will very much just be like a little fireside chat. If you like that, and you've been liking this show, then I think you're in the right place and you're doing the right thing. I got a lot of big stuff planned, building all this, and it's going to all come together magnificently eventually as it's supposed to. And I'm making sure I have plenty of time and space to make sure it's sustainable, because I plan on doing an episode where I'm going to talk about the life lessons I learned from my past life. We'll go deeper into those kind of things. That's definitely on the horizon. I also got lots of just me responding and reacting to things that have been happening to me. Sometimes they're specifically after I've done something with somebody or had a particular experience running errands that day. Definitely also got some stuff planned with friends eventually too. There's going to be lots of fun stuff. I'm super excited. You'll get to see that I'm trying to do something that's multifaceted. Anywho, I just want to thank you for being here. I really appreciate you listening. But I did enjoy doing this, and I hope you enjoyed listening. Thank you very much. Catch you next time. Welcome to Viva Ya. Ya. Yaoi. Already here.